Hey everyone, Susan Black here.
And Pete Black.
And did you know that today is National Middle Child Day? I'm a middle child. Are you a middle child?
There's too many kids. We couldn't count.
Pete is one of 7 children. He is number 5 of 7, and I am number 3 of 4. So we're both considered middle children. Before I get started, I just wanted to let you know that we are true senior citizens. Today, our outing was a doctor's appointment, and then we went out for an early bird dinner. So the dogs can smell it on us. We went to a newer restaurant here in Huntsville called Super Chicks, Chix, and we had some really good sandwiches. And then we brought home some frozen yogurt too to have, or frozen custard, I should say, to have later. So Pete was a good boy today at his doctor's appointment, so he gets to have ice cream. So anyhow, talking about middle child syndrome. So there's actually a big psychology basis that goes along with this as well, that they say that the middle children are usually a little more independent than the other children, because the older children, the firstborn child, is usually the leader, has spent more time with the parents, is a little bit more attached to the parents. And then, of course, the baby of the family is typically the spoiled one, the one that gets all the attention. So she's really smelling the chicken on my shirt. The middle children usually have to kind of stick it out and do things on their own. So I'd say you're pretty independent, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
And I was pretty independent, so I think that really is the case. Do you think in your family that Mike, being the firstborn, was a leader in your family?
He thinks he's a leader. Just a joke, Mike. Just a joke.
My brother Jim, just to be honest, there are 4 kids in my family, and I am number 3. I am the only girl, and we were boom, 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 a year apart, the first 3 of us. And then there was 8 years for my youngest brother. So, and just with some family dynamic issues and those types of things, basically during our teenage years, we basically were on our own, and we pretty much raised ourselves. So I think that's where the independence for me comes into play, is you pretty much had to kind of take care of things on my own in the family.
Oh, when there's that many kids in my family, you just have to do what you have to do.
But I can honestly say the youngest sibling, my brother Eric, he was the baby for sure. He was spoiled. Coming 8 years later than the rest of us, he pretty much got whatever he wanted.
So Dan was the baby, and that was definitely the baby.
And the babies usually are spoiled a little bit more. Another thing that I read about, which I thought was pretty interesting, is that the middle children are usually closer emotionally to their siblings than they are to the parents. And when you think about it, the firstborn often spends a lot of alone time with the parents, and the baby of the family, usually because they're spoiled, they do as well. So the child in the middle usually just kind of hangs out with the siblings. So I can honestly say, probably for me, I probably was closer to my siblings than I was to my parents. You probably were too, because there was 5 boys in Pete's family and 2 girls, and they definitely stuck together. I mean, because you just spend so much time together.
Yeah. The middle part of our family, the boy were boys, and
you all played together,
right.
And and then another interesting fact about the middle children too is it says that they're more of the peacemakers. That they're the ones that are trying to solve the issues, the problems in the family, not so much between the parents, but just to keep the peace between the kids. And they usually don't like confrontation, and they want everything to be peaceful. And I could definitely say that that's the case for you. You don't like confrontation, and of course I don't really like it either. But so yeah, that's thought kind of interesting that today is National Middle Child Day, and Pete and I are both middle children. I think we are both pretty independent. I think we turned out pretty good.
Yeah.
Just as a little side note, it's probably too much information, is like I said, the siblings were, well, in Pete's family too, there were 7 kids and they were born within 10 years of each other. So they were pretty much boom, boom, boom as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then with my family, like I said, the first 3 were, my 2 oldest brothers are just 11 months apart. And then I come a little over a year after the second brother, and then there's 8 years to my youngest brother. But my mom told me one time, she said that the only one she really wanted was my youngest brother, who's 8 years behind us. So it's kind of an odd thing to find out. But anyhow, I think we've done pretty well. We're middle children, but hey, we're okay. We weren't neglected. We were
We've done
we
well.
turned out pretty well. So anyhow, we thought that we would share that with you today, just a little psychology behind being a middle child. So until we meet again, remember to enjoy your journey.